Bugs' Whitewater Rapids is a really nice log flume at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. This attraction has multiple drops and some bits of theming. I think this is the best water ride in the entire chain, and I'll explain why in this review. Hopkins debuted their version of the log flume in 1980, and it was an immensely popular model. In 1998, they debuted the Super Flume. This was an upgraded model with steeper drops and increased capacity. Rather than sitting in line like a traditional log flume, this model offered 4 rowboats seating guests 2 abreast. I find this far more comfortable. 4 of these rides were built in 1998. These were Wild West Falls at Warner Bros. Movie World, Log Flume at Hamanako Pal Pal in Japan, Daredevil Falls at Dollywood, and for the sake of this video, Bugs' Whitewater Rapids at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. This ride was placed in the Spassberg section, which is a German-themed area in the center of the park. Most log flumes are placed in the woods, so they can sprawl about without much issue. This one had to be shoehorned around existing infrastructure and midways. This one was cleverly designed so the start and middle sections are stacked atop of each other. The layout also to cross over and under pathways. To improve the aesthetics, the ride was given a medieval theme, so the trough is surrounded by stonework similar to what you'd see in a castle. And fittingly, the queue and station are housed in a giant castle. It looks great from the midway, and there's a lot to see as you make your way through the line. There are multiple character statues. They're all static, but they look great, and they have timed bits of audio every few seconds. This accompanies a general medieval audio score playing in the background. When you ride, this will dramatically impact how long you wait. The warmer it is, the more popular this ride will be, so it often can have a 30 to 60 minute wait midday on those hot summer days. This is on Flash Pass if needed, but if you ride this in the evening or visit during the cooler months, this usually has minimal to no wait. Fiesta, Texas is a year-round park. This ride shockingly is open during the park's Holiday in the Park Christmas event in November and December. This ride typically undergoes a short refurbishment during the first 1 or 2 months of the year though. This is a high capacity for a flume. Not only do the boats each seat 8 guests, but there are many on the course at once. This ride also loads very quickly. It has a moving load platform and 0 restraints, so usually there are no delays. Some notes about the boats. First, bags will ride with you, so keep that in mind if you have anything sensitive to water. Second, there is a raised triangular hump on the floor. If you put your shoes on top of it, they will stay mostly dry. Third, seating is on a first-come basis. If the seat you want is already taken, the staff members usually will allow you to wait off to the side for the next boat. As for seat selection, I like the back best by far. This maximizes the drops. If you want to get soaked, sit up front. Once seated, you slowly float through the station underneath a series of colorful flags. At the end, you pass under a raised gate and you dip into the water. You then slowly float down the trough. You cannot see too much though. The course is set beneath the midway, and the walls extend above the boat. You then head up lift 1. Most flumes use a conveyor belt lift hill system, but this one uses chain lifts like roller coasters. These are pretty loud, but they are effective. The first drop is funky. There's a little pre-drop immediately followed by a bigger drop that I'd estimate to be 2 stories tall. If you're in the back, you'll get a smidge of airtime here. Then it's immediately followed by a bunny hump. No additional airtime, but it is always fun having dynamic motion like this incorporated into a log flume. The resultant splash offers only a few sprinkles. You then have some slow bends. You pass statues of Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam fighting with swords. Then you pass this evil green dragon. He shoots a thin layer of water out of his mouth directly at the boat. And his head moves with the boat, ensuring he hits everyone for a few seconds. Of course, this is the only character in the ride that moves. Makes sense. This will get your upper body wet. Then you have the second lift hill. This takes you up to the ride's elevated section. The end of this lift has a tiny dip into the trough. Now, if you're sitting up front, This creates a surprisingly large splash that'll land right in your lap. This is why I avoid row 1. You then have a series of S-bends. The boat will bang off of them. This doesn't hurt at all, but this will cause some small splashes to lightly hit the boat. You then hit a straightaway, offering some nice views of the park all around you. I especially like looking over the DC Universe section to the right. It does feel a bit weird though having an extended section like this on a flume that's not in the woods or accompanied by theming. Then you have the third and final lift hill. This one takes you to the ride's max height. I have seen multiple places posted at 30 feet or 9 meters, but it looks and feels considerably higher. Using Google Earth, it seems to be roughly 50% taller or 45 feet in height. The final drop is great for a flume. It is quite steep for the genre, so it has some zip. And in the back rows, you'll get an okay pop of airtime as a bonus. The resultant splash looks big off-ride, but it just hits the boat with some sprinkles. You then pass a statue of Yosemite Sam riding the dragon earlier in the ride, and also a fountain. Usually this does nothing, but on a few rides, I have been hit by another sprayer out of the mouth of the dragon. You then float back to the station, but not before passing a series of paid sprayers. If people are feeling charitable, you may get hit by a few of them. They get you similarly wet to the dragon in the first half, spraying your upper body. As you approach the station, there's a drawbridge off to the side. You'll hear Yosemite Sam frantically yelling to open it up. You are then pulled back into the castle and station, ending the experience. It is a lengthy flume too, as it takes roughly 4.5 minutes station to station. So what would I rate Bugs' Whitewater Rapids? I would give this water ride an 8 out of 10. This is a good flume. The 2 drops are great, particularly the second one. Then I like the small thematic touches such as the statues and audio bits. The middle section just feels a bit odd for a flume. I really wish the ride leaned more into the medieval theme by placing some themed scenes or characters here. That being said, this is the best water ride in the entire Six Flags chain. It definitely beats the chain's other flumes, many of which are older models from Aerodynamics. I would also take this over the River Rapids rides found at their parks. Heck, I would even take this over many of their coasters at both Six Flags Fiesta Texas and the chain as a whole. This ride is a must for me each visit, and it should be for anyone who likes flumes. So those are my thoughts on Bugs' Whitewater Rapids at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. What are your thoughts on this ride? How do you compare it to the other log flumes out there? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.